Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome to Investors Playbook, episode 16. I'm Cornell Rowan.
And I'm Deshaun Edwards. And today we are talking about financial education in K through 12, or specifically high school, making it mandatory now for high school students to have financial literacy a part of their curriculum in order for them to graduate. That is exciting news. I know, Cornell, we've talked about this a lot, wanting to get an early jump on a lot of these kids who are normally going through high school. They have all these courses, and it doesn't really prepare them for the world. And now we're starting to see a change. It's exciting. So
What I don't understand is why it took so long for this to happen. It seems like the obvious thing, right?
I know,
That adults need to know about money
right?
because no matter what field we're in, what we all have in common is we have to be able to manage money. We
Yeah,
all needed to survive, and the fact that it's not in every curriculum is crazy to me.
right. I won't. I mean, I could go on my rant about why I thought it was purposely kept out of
Why
education.
not? Go on
I
your
mean, to be honest, when we're in high school, we are taught essentially to be workers. We're not taught to be independent. We're not taught to figure out our money situations. We're taught how to learn about things like, engineering, mathematics, science, history, so that we can go and do those jobs as engineers, mathematicians, scientists, teachers. They don't, it's almost like it was deliberately left out to say, nah, we want you all to work and not be financially free by these means. We want you to go. And that was the narrative when we were growing up. Go to school, get a job, retire. But that doesn't work. I mean, go ahead.
I feel like it's deeper than being financially free. If you don't know how to manage money, there are a lot more problems than you be having to work until you're 65.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because now you're dealing with debt, not handling credit cards properly. Just you have to go through all these mistakes, all these yeah, man, it's just bad all around. So forget about financial freedom. You don't know how to manage you don't know how to pay taxes. You don't know how to pay your bills. You're
Mhm.
just kind of like thrown into you're just kind of thrown into the fire
Yeah.
and you don't
It's like
know anything.
financial regulation. You're just talking about normal things, like you
Yeah.
said, and a lot of us who did decide to, when we graduated high school, going to college, our first big hit was student loan debt. We didn't know what we were doing. We were taking out tons of money, deliberately taking out more money than we needed so that we can get a refund check. We didn't think about the fact that we have to give this money back or any. I mean, maybe some of us did, but I was not thinking about. I'm gonna take out more money right now. And I'm not even worried about that. But that's a huge problem. A lot of people just take out a bunch of debt, or they take out student loan debt. It ends up either not working out for them in college, and they stop going, or they do complete college and they get a job that can't really pay back the student loans that they took out, or it's not paying enough money. So yeah, those little things, and that's just one piece of it, right? You mentioned taxes, credit cards, debt outside of student loans. Those are, at least they're a little bit, regular when it comes to interest rates. But then when you start swiping that credit card, it's a whole nother thing. People don't. Some people don't even know what their credit card interest rate is. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a mindset shift because, like,
Mhm.
how people think is okay, when I get money, I can spend all of that money. You see what I'm saying? They're not retaining any money to invest into assets to create more money because
Right.
that mindset has not been instilled in us.
Mhm.
It's just like make more money so you can live a better life. And as you live that better life, you get like that lifestyle creep comes in. You
Yeah.
spend more, you earn more, you spend more, you earn more, you spend more. There's nothing left over. So that's
Exactly.
why you have people out here making six figures still check the check. It's an
Hmm.
issue.
Is very much so an issue. But I think that again, this with the whole financial literacy being a high school mandate or high school requirement, or at least the road to it, I think it's a step in the right direction for sure. I'm interested to learn what the courses are going to be. Like, what
Yes.
is it that they're exactly going to teach? Is it going to be budgeting? Is it going to be investing? Is it going to be credit cards? Is it going to be taxes? Like, I'm interested to see what the curriculum will be, or and it might be different from teacher to teacher.
Yeah.
Like a Spanish teacher at this school might not teach Spanish the same way as another Spanish teacher. But I'm just interested to see what it's all about.
I think it'll be different state to state because while the teachers are different, there are curriculums that we follow, like
That's
as
true.
teachers.
That's true.
So you do have to hit on the standards. I know some teachers might like add a little more into it, but at the end of
Mhm.
the day, there's a set of standards that you have to go through while you're a teacher teaching a certain subject, and they do change from state to state. So yeah, they could be different.
That's very true. You're right.
Yeah.
I remember being a teacher and having to create my lesson plan that followed the
Yep.
standard. So that would be the more interesting conversation or the more interesting piece of resources to see what is the standard that teachers are going to have to follow when they're creating their lesson plans for these financial literacy courses. I'm interested to see that for sure. But
Right. So currently, and as we were speaking, which is crazy to me, currently only 7 states mandate financial literacy courses, right?
that's crazy.
But as you said,
Mhm.
a change is coming, man. They have 43 bills currently being processed in 21 states to mandate more financial literacy courses. So they say in the next 5 years that 4 out of 10 high schoolers in the US will be enrolled in schools that mandate financial literacy classes, which is crazy. That's 40%.
That's man. Like it took it feels like I mean, I don't know. The US has been around for a long time. So it is crazy the fact that this is happening in 2020. Well, I mean,
Right.
it's starting in 2023 like we're seeing it and I guess you said 5 years from now. I mean, it's a good feeling to hear that, but then also it's like, man,
Like,
why did it take so long? Why did
how did y'all give us pre-calculus before y'all gave us financial literacy, bro? Like,
geometry, trigonometry, like
who who just sat there, came up with the curriculum, completely bypassed financial literacy, and went to geometry, bro?
I'm telling you, man.
Chemistry.
I'm telling you, I feel like it was all part of the let's keep let's not have them educated on that. Let's have them educated on the things that'll kind of keep them in the workplace or the workforce.
Yeah.
This is my personal thought, man, because when when people were trying to push for financial literacy and financial education in high schools, it was a lot of pushback, right? From the conversations and like the different YouTube videos that I watched for people who were trying to introduce it, it was always, no, we don't want to teach financial literacy. They aren't old enough to learn it. It's not part of the standard. And I'm thinking they're not old enough to learn how to handle finances, but they're old enough to learn hypotenuse and Pythagorean theorem. Like,
Bro, I had never used those aside from being in a geometry class, bro.
exactly.
Like I've never
Use it to pass the test. That's it.
I never looked at something in the real world and just be like, I wonder what the hypotenuse of that is.
Hey, you know it's crazy. I was actually having a conversation with Ashley, and we were looking at like we were looking at something like an object, like a cabinet or something. And we are like, what's the difference between, they got height, they got length, and they got width.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait, what's height, length, width, and then what's depth? What's depth? Like we were really having a conversation about trying to understand the difference between a 3D object and a 2D. Yeah. But anyways, that was just a little rant, like some stuff that we learned in high school, and I haven't even thought about it until like last week.
Because
Right.
you don't need it unless you're like a
'Cause you don't need
contractor or like you building a house. Like you really don't need that stuff.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Like in everyday life. But this is like even though this is long overdue, there are some positive things that are coming for this. We can't really dwell on the past. I'm glad that
Right.
we're moving in the right direction. So one
Hmm.
thing this definitely does is it empowers individuals. All
Yeah.
right. So when you're in control of your money, you're in control of your life. Because like through everything that we do, we need money. We even need
Everything.
money to live. We need
Yeah.
money for basic necessities like water and
Hmm.
shelter. So the
Everything.
fact everything. So
Everything.
the fact that we're out here and so many of us do not know how to manage our money, we got so many people in heavy debt.
Hmm.
Is insane, and I'm glad that this positive change is happening.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so how do
Absolutely.
you like in what ways do you see this empowering the people, Deshaun?
I mean, so many ways. So many ways. We mentioned the amount of debt that people have. It's crippling, especially amongst people our age, like millennials. We grew up in the era of when technology was being introduced. So we were able to kind of hear the information from our parents, but it was a little bit too late for us to like we learned about finances like in our like mid 20s if we didn't hear from it from our parents because of the start of social media. We were able to watch YouTube videos, but before that we didn't really grow up with that information just kind of accessible to us. And that caused a lot of us to be unprepared. Like right now, according to I think it was like CNBC resources, they say that about 43% of millennials are unprepared currently for retirement. They have $0 in savings, and it's just because we weren't taught early enough, right? We're learning about it now, and we're able to make those changes now. We still have time because a lot of millennials are now in their 30s, and we still have time to make change. But if we were to check the record right now, a lot of us are like we're not on track to what they would say is prepared for retirement. And I feel like learning those things when you are 15, 16 years old, it is a huge game changer. Like starting your retirement when you're 18, bro, can you imagine if we started our IRAs when we were 18 years old and just
Yeah.
continue to max it out for the next, what was that, 25 years ago? 24 years ago? I mean, not 24, but like 14 years ago.
Yeah. I'm
Bad man.
about to say
Bad.
this man was
Look,
so old.
maybe
This
I do
man's the
need to
whole
go.
time. This man's like Goo Ralph.
Look, maybe I do need to take another math course. 18 plus.
I was carry the two.
Add the zero and no, just. But anyways, like I was saying, bro, being 18 years old and being able to start a Roth IRA is crazy. Or even just having the accessibility to know what a Roth IRA is and the benefits of it. Knowing what a brokerage account is, being able to understand stocks and investing, and just the different forms of investing, not even just the stock market, but learning about real estate at an early age. Because some people grew up in a house that was rented, some people's parents never owned a property, so they don't even know the benefits of owning a home. So
And,
all of these things,
yeah.
all of these things are important. And I feel like that teaching financial literacy to high school students is going to change the game for a lot of people. And I hope it's not a disparity when it comes to like the demographics of where that is taught. And I hope it's not, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? I hope it's not just in certain areas because I see it as a way to close or, shorten the wealth gap depending on how it's rolled out, right? It depends on how it's rolled out. But I see it as a huge game changer.
That's a good point
Hmm.
because like even now there is a gap in
Yeah.
education. You know, in
Yes.
certain areas, education is more efficient than other areas.
Mm-hmm.
And there already is that wealth gap because in those those poverty areas, they don't really have that information to pass down to their kids, and it's not being taught in schools.
Right.
Whereas people that are born in more financially literate homes,
Yeah.
they're get a lot of them are already getting that information. So I do think that in a way that it will close the wealth gap. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
And it definitely prepares the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And it puts it even in those households where the parent is not financially literate. Now the students have a way of getting exposed to it, and really they can bring some of these topics up to their parents
Right.
because these are high schoolers. They can have those conversations. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, mom, hey, dad, this is what I learned in school. Like, what do y'all think about this? So
Yeah.
now you're empowering the whole home.
Right. Right. You're literally able to like remove if there are those curses that are in your family that are living like always renting, never owning, paycheck to paycheck, and now people are like you said, they have access to the information that can bring it back to their home, talking to people. I think, man, that sounds very empowering. I think you used the word before, and I think that's the best way to put it. It's empowering, and you're able to again not just take the information and use it, but you can share it with the people who were unable to hear that information growing up, like their parents, their aunties, their older cousins. Like they can go and be the game changers for their family because, again, if you're not learning it from your parents back in the day, the schools wasn't teaching it to you. So now that the schools are making it a thing, bringing it back home, I think that'll be huge too. You're right about that for sure.
And I hope this creates a mindset shift. One thing, people are funny, man. One thing I realize about people, and it's the same between finances and health. So like people will wait until they're broke. And then they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go on this spending fast and I'm gonna do good until I get back even. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing with health. It's like, okay, they wait until they see themselves as fat. And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna work out until I get to this, and then I'm gonna go back to what I was doing.
Or they
So
wait till the doctor tells them you sick, you got to make a change. Like it's the extreme thing that has to
it's
happen.
reactive. It's
It's react.
reactive.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that planning the
Hmm.
entire time, it's like, okay, this is how I'm going to do my finances, and this is where it's going to get me in my future. So
Yeah.
now they will know this at an early age, and hopefully these courses are are motivating these kids to start now, to have a plan, to stay intentional
Hmm.
about building their wealth over time, and not, oh, I'm broke, okay, let me get my money right. Oh, I'm
Right.
broke again, let me get my money right back
Right.
right. Like,
Right.
just stay right.
Right. We talk about that. We talk about how consistency beats motivation, and consistency beats inspiration or reaction any day. Right. If you are always on the right track, and they say, stay ready, you don't got to get ready. If you're consistently consistent with your finances, you don't have to wait until you have a low moment or a slump to do everything in your power to try and change it. And then, cool, you go on some crazy health kick that's not sustainable. That's not even reality. It's not reality. You can't always live like that. You can't always be super like not spending any money, never try. You can have a moment of that, but when that's over, what's going to make you stay consistent to where that doesn't happen again? And hopefully, like you said, learning that at an early age will help build these habits, these positive financial habits that allow people to create what their form of consistent regulation of their money, what helps them to create that. Like that would be the goal, is for them to not just get inspired by this course, do huge um, this huge reaction to learning this information, and instead putting things in place so that they can consistently make a small change, compounded over years, talking compound effect, making sure that we're making consistent change that's actually sustainable and not a do this one thing, this major thing that is not sustainable, and it just repeats the cycle over and over again. So
Yep.
yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we hit all our points.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Look, I definitely want to do some more research on this topic. I want to know what states are part of that next 5 year plan. I want to see, like you said, like we talked about earlier, what the curriculum is going to be for these states. I'm interested to see what they're going to be teaching. Um, but all in all, it is an exciting topic. It is something that both of us, I feel strongly about when it comes
And
to educating the youth, making
of,
sure that people are prepared to, make moves. Go ahead, my bad.
of course, this is the reason why we created Investors Playbook. I don't know. Yeah. So
No.
basically, we saw
Hmm.
that there was a need
Hmm.
because no one knew about this stuff. And when we were finding out about it, it's like, why is no one talking about this?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then
And
we
the crazy
talked to
thing is, I don't even mean to cut you off, but I just have to, because the people that knew were gatekeeping. It's like the friends that we had or the people that did know that we hung around didn't mention it to us. It's either they didn't know about it or they knew about it and didn't say anything.
yeah,
So it's like,
you know what? I kind of get it, and this is why. Think about, I don't know if you get the same reactions, but when I go around and I talk about because I'm excited about this information. I'm excited about what it's done for me. So, I
Mhm.
talk about it, but when I talk about it, people aren't really receptive. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of get tired of that same response. So it's like, why talk about it? You
Yeah,
see, I'm just gonna stop telling people. It just
yeah. But
people
you
people
talk
are
about if you talk about like Squid Games or something, everybody hype. You know?
and see, I was talking about that, man. If I post something on my social media and it's like, oh yeah, I'm at homecoming. Oh, it's gonna go crazy. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But
lots
if
of
I post
engagement.
if I post something beneficial, something that somebody can use to actually change their life in a positive way, oh, that thing is going nowhere.
Yeah.
So Earn Your Leisure actually posted something, and
Hmm.
I shared it on my profile also, and it was talking about that people just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And they said this is the reason why Shade Room has 30 million followers and Earn Your Leisure, a highly reputable media moguls who
Hmm.
have made millions of people money, and they're giving all this great information to the black community. They only have 1.5 million, and they were talking about how much money has Shade Room ever made you.
Anyone. People would rather be entertained than educated, bro.
And that's part of the issue.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the issue.
So how did we get to that point? Has this been something that's been embedded into us, or is this something just like, what is that? Where did that
That,
come from? And why is it so common?
that's a deep question. That's like a psychological question there. I don't know. I don't know if it's like social media brainwashing or if it's just the human psyche that would rather that feels better when they're doing something like being entertained or they're laughing or they're joking or they're experiencing someone else's drama that's not theirs rather than them experiencing like financial literacy or developing themselves. I don't know. We gotta holler at a at a social guru for them to help us understand because I don't get it either, bro.
I
I
don't
don't.
get it, man.
And I think the craziest thing is that the fact that things like the Shade Room, or even, I mean, a number of Instagram accounts, right, that just are there to solely entertain, they don't provide any real benefit. It's almost, it's a bit of not even a bit, it's a distraction
It's
from
gossip.
doing things that you need to be doing. You focusing on something that really doesn't matter at all. It's a it's a like a hit of adrenaline. You get it, you look at it, you like, man, that's crazy, that's deep, or that's exciting, or that's funny. Let me share this. And then now what you're doing is spreading the distraction to other people. They're looking at the shade room video that you thought was funny, and that person shares it to the next person. But like you said, when it comes to the education piece, they watch the video and they're like, ah, this is boring.
And
Next.
the thing is, people put so much time into these posts too, so they don't just watch the post. Now they take a side in the post. It's like, oh, I agree with him. I can't believe that she did this and that, and I don't get it, bro. It's like these people have nothing to do with you. They're
Yeah.
probably on the other side of the country. Like you don't even know why are you I don't get it,
Yeah.
man. I don't get it. This has nothing to do with you. And
Yeah.
your opinion on this doesn't even matter.
It really
You're
does.
arguing with people that don't matter, man. They're not gonna make you any money. They're
Right.
not gonna make your life any better.
Yeah, and they're arguing about a situation that has nothing to do with them. The situation doesn't even know that they exist. Like when people are talking about a lot of the celebrity drama that's happening, or a lot of the issues that individuals who are famous are going through, and they will, like you said, argue with their friends, have differences of opinion, and get mad about
Uh,
certain things. Like
About somebody that doesn't even care about you. They don't even know you exist.
they
And
don't
you
even.
argue, you're getting into a full argument about this person.
Yeah, like it does not matter. I've seen people fight. This is me on this is what my feed comes in. This is me needing to clean my Instagram. Seeing people who are football fans fight about the outcome of a game. Like, bro, this team is not. Sure, you root for them, but you don't play for them. They're not paying you. You're paying to go watch them. Like you're giving them money so that you can go watch them play a game, and you're arguing with another person about the outcome that you had no control over. That's the first thing. You have no control over how this game turns out. But because your mental is telling you that this thing is also important, and yeah, I don't really get it, bro. Yeah, people sometimes put themselves in wild situations over things that have nothing to do with them. Arguments, fights, like it. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if it's people trying to escape from their own lives or what it is, man, but it just does not make sense to me.
yeah. I don't
Doesn't
know.
make sense. If hey, so if you know the answer to this, please let
Yes,
us know.
we would love to. We would love to hear you all's
Because
opinion.
we want to know.
Yeah, mainly, I want to know why people. I guess the word would be shy away from wanting to learn about financial literacy, right? And it'll be people that I'm close to, people that hear me talk about it all the time. I'm like you said, I'll mention it, and they'll be like, "Yeah, that's cool," and that'll be the end of it. It's not. It's not a let's have a conversation about it. For some people, there's receptive to it. Some people want to learn more about it. Um, And then you have some people who say they want to learn more about it, but then when you start talking about it, they don't seem all that interested. So then it's like, am I pushing this on you? I don't want to feel like I'm forcing you to talk about money. So it's a
Yeah.
mix. It's a mixed
I
bag.
I feel like it's a cultural thing with us also to not talk about money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
like growing up, I never really knew about my parents' finances. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And even with coworkers, it's like, oh, don't tell people your salary. Don't tell people how much you make and what you're doing, how much you're spending on this. Like, I get not telling people like how much you have. I understand because people will hate and people will you'll put a target on yourself. So
That's
I
true.
I, I do understand. Man, but we definitely have to have more money conversation. This is why a lot of people are left ignorant because it's looked down upon to talk about. People
Hmm.
don't want to talk about money. They shy away from it.
Yeah. They do not, and I don't know if if it's like you said, people don't want to feel like they have a target, or if they're embarrassed about their current financial situation, and that's the reason why they don't want to talk about it, or if it's just something that we grew up on, and we don't even know why we don't want to talk about it. We just know that that's what it's always been, so we
Man,
just
I
don't
saw
talk about it.
a whole post on that, but it's crazy. I don't even think I could like verbalize it the way I need to, so I won't go into
Yeah,
it. Yeah, but Man, it was along the lines of people coming into a culture, they don't know why things are being done, but just because everyone else is doing it, they kind of just follow suit.
This
So
wasn't
yeah.
the post about like the experiment with the banana and like the.
Yes.
Okay, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
exactly.
can't go into it if you want to, because
Go
I was
ahead.
like,
Hey, if you can verbalize it, go
all right.
ahead, man.
So basically, it was let's imagine we have a lab, and in this lab we have two monkeys that are inside of the lab or inside of a cage, and inside that cage there's a banana that's hanging from a string. Anytime either of the monkeys went to go reach for the banana, they would like shock the cage, and all the monkeys would get electrocuted. Let's that's
Yeah.
So then okay, those two monkeys learn if we reach for the banana, we will get electrocuted. So then they introduced a new monkey who has no idea that if he reaches for the banana, he's going to get electrocuted. But when he tries to reach for the banana, the other two monkeys grab him and they beat him up. Like, don't do that. So then they start to introduce new monkeys. And then now the monkey who got grabbed and beat up, who never experienced being electrocuted, starts to join in. And any new monkey that comes is saying, no, don't grab the banana. He doesn't even originally know why he's not supposed to grab the banana. It's just that's the norm for their environment. Is
Now it's
if you
normal.
go grab the banana, you get beat up. But the original idea was if you grab the banana, then you get electrocuted. They eventually took the two original monkeys out. Now every monkey is in the cage who has not experienced getting electrocuted. They don't know why. They're not supposed to reach for the banana. But none of the monkeys go up for the banana because each time they do, the other monkeys stop them. And they have no idea why that happened in the first place. That the reason why is because if you do it, you get electrocuted. But all they know is this is what this is the environment that we live in. Don't reach for the banana because if you do, this happens. But we don't know why. Or initially, they don't know the original reason why.
Exactly. Hey, and culture is so powerful, man. Like and I know this is a little off topic, but this was like a thing where okay, so everybody was getting like tax returns, me included. And when you get your tax return, it's like, oh yes, I got my tax return now. I got some free money and now I can, but then it took me a while. I don't even think I read this from anywhere. I was just thinking like a tax return. This is essentially my money. So why so why am I overpaying to get a tax return for them to hold my money
Basically, all they're doing.
and for me to get it later
Yeah,
when I could just pay less in taxes now and just pay them in April.
yeah.
So it's kind of like that because everybody else was doing it like so I didn't think anything of it.
Hmm.
But just because everybody else is doing it does not mean it's the right thing to do or the smart thing to do
Right. You
or the efficient thing to do. So we have to think on our own. We have to do our own research no matter what it is
absolutely
because people don't even know why they're doing stuff.
right.
So,
Look, man, that's one of the craziest things. I think the fact that people's answer sometimes is that's just what people normally do. Like that answer kills me. It's like, but what does that mean? Why? Why do people normally do that? Because that's just what they do. No, tell me why. Like, what is the reason why people always do this thing that you're saying that I need to do? If you can't tell me this, then I'm probably not going to do it because you don't even know why people do it. You're only telling me that because someone told you that this is what people do. Where does it even start? Like, what if there's something better? Did you not check to see if there's another thing out there that might work better than the thing that everyone does? So, it, that I don't know what that is about our culture where we just take blind advice. We don't do our own research. We don't figure out what works best for us. Everybody's
no,
situation is different, man.
hey,
So go ahead.
the Matrix is real. It's real, man. The Matrix is real. Don't get stuck in it. Don't get stuck in it because people are just here. They're being controlled by culture. Don't even realize it because
NPCs,
everyone's
bro.
doing it. Escape the
NPCs,
Matrix.
man.
Yeah. Escape. the Matrix.
Yeah,
So,
man. But like again, hopefully this introduction to financial literacy at an early age can prevent some of these problems that we're talking about right now. Make people independent thinkers and not sheep thinkers where a tax return is a like something to celebrate. Like that is I mean, if you're overpaying taxes on accident, you get a tax return, but the idea of tax returns is the fact that you gave them too much money and now you have to get it back. So even just the notion that a tax return is something to celebrate is interesting.
is very interesting,
Yeah.
and I understand for the and I understand and I don't understand because you got those people that are like, oh, I know if I get it during the year, I'm going to spend it. It's like don't spend it. Like I don't know. For me, it's just that easy. I don't, but people know themselves,
People, yeah.
and I respect that part. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, if you know you're not doing right, try to do better.
That's
Don't
true.
just say I can't do this. I cannot spend my money the right way. So I'm going to need the government to hold my money until this time so I can spend it wrong when I get it then. Like I
And that's the thing. Like they're saying that they're gonna spend it throughout the year, but when people get tax returns, what do they spend it on? They
they're
blow it
like,
on like
"Oh, this is free money, so I'm gonna blow it on something." I don't know, man. Our mindset is so messed up. So I cannot wait. And I
yeah,
hope, as you said, I hope that I hope that these classes really teach some important concepts when it comes to financial literacy. Tax
yeah,
returns being one of them.
yes, tax returns. And I really hope that of the concepts that they teach, and I said it earlier in the episode, but that it actually teaches people to create consistent plans or even create financial goals at a younger age. Because if you're teaching something and it's not applied, it doesn't matter, right? But I hope that the classes, the concepts that they teach are one very beneficial and that it's absorbed and used the right way. That's what I hope. Like that the students actually take it and they use it in their everyday lives and they even start sharing the information like with their
Of
family. You mentioned,
of of course, with this, not 100% are
of
going
course,
to, even if the information is given to them. Like think about health class. They're like, hey, don't do crack. But look, we still got people doing that. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
People are gonna do what they want to do. People are gonna do what they want to do
People gonna
regardless.
do what they want to do. Like
Right.
they know that this is not good for them. But
Hmm.
hey, people are gonna
But
do
this
what they
is
want to do.
this removes another excuse. You can't say that, man. They're not even teaching us this in schools anymore.
It
All right,
does.
it
Now
removes that excuse.
now the accountability is on you. You have the information. What are you gonna do with it?
Facts, facts. So, man, this was a good one, bro.
This was,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So hey, tell them where they can find us.
As always, you can find us on Instagram at Investors Playbook LLC. Our website, investors www.investorsplaybookllc.com. You can join our mighty networks. All of that is in the link tree inside of our Instagram, our TikTok, our LinkedIn. Yeah, you come join the community. We're talking about finances on a daily basis, and it's growing. So yeah, those are Investors Playbook LLC on Instagram. From there, you can find us on anything. Amazon, we have our book. They're also on the link tree. So we have a lot of places. We're growing for sure. We're growing for sure.
And most importantly, join the Mighty Networks. We want to hear what you have to say. We want you to join our conversation.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Like we're all in this together. We're trying to build a community where people can thrive together. We want it to be a place where people come into financial situations, they bring this information to the group, and everybody can learn from it.
right.
So,
Exactly.
so join us. We would love to have you.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll
And
even we
yeah,
could post a link in this episode, right? We'll post it in the description. The Mighty Networks joint.
sounds good.
Yep. All right, man. All right.
Uh,
Well, episode 16 in the books. Another good one.
Episode 16 in the books. Hey, thank you everyone for your support, and we'll see y'all next time.
Absolutely. Peace out.